Yes, guys, today we've got a very exciting guest joining us on the episode. His name is Tom Walker. He founded and is managing director of the Hair Repair Club. You may have heard of them. They've got a massive following on Instagram. They're doing super exciting things in the hair system industry right now. Not only do they offer personalized hair system fittings, they also offer in-depth training for individuals interested in getting started in the hair replacement industry. So we're going to be talking about Tom's hair loss journey, what encouraged him to start up Hair Repair Club, but also what they're planning to do in the future. They've got some really, really exciting plans, so I'd encourage you to stick around till the end because I can guarantee this is going to be a really exciting chat about hair systems. Thanks so much for joining, for jumping on. I've been super excited about getting you on because I love what you guys are doing.
Oh
And
no, thank you, mate.
and,
Thank
and
you.
I really want, especially in the UK as well, because the hair system industry is really moving in the right direction, I think, in this country.
Defo, defo.
And incredible growth we're experiencing. So I wanted basically people watching this video to find out more about, Hair Repair Club. Obviously, you guys offer training for prospective hair system stylists, but also you actually cut in hair systems as well. So I just wanted to have a chat with you about, what you guys do and but also, what your plans are for sort of growth in the future and that sort of thing. So what I wanted to start with, Tom, is sort of how did you get into this industry? I know you're a hair loss sufferer yourself, and
Yeah,
how did you sort of first come across hair systems? Was it your first dive into hair loss treatments, or had you tried other things before?
yeah. So I'll be honest. I tried pretty much everything on the market that I could get my hands on: minoxidils, caffeine shampoos, fibers, tablets, vitamins. And then I went to the point where I went for a consultation for a hair transplant, only to find out that my donor hair wasn't really strong enough. So although I could have had one, I wouldn't have ever got the results that I was hoping for. So the only option for me then, at the prime age of 23, was to have a hair system. So
Yeah. And how did you find out about hair systems? Because they're not exactly the most widely known sort of hair loss solutions.
yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I think back in the day, there was only a handful, a small handful here, there, and everywhere, mainly London. I got lucky and I found a place a bit more closer. However, I went there, had the service, and I wasn't overly happy with the service. And I sort of built up a new anxiety, which was worse than when I had my hair loss. So it's kind of like I felt like I looked a wally, and it was very noticeable. And I felt like people were talking to my hair system rather than talking to me. It was that bad. So
Was that mainly to do with the sort of frontal? Was it just not very realistic? Was it too thin?
um, yeah, a bit of everything. I feel like some of them can be quite prominent and obvious because not many people like taking too much length and weight out. And there's like telltale signs. And I feel like now, fast forward to now, we've sort of ironed those out and got rid of those telltale signs and just gone in a little bit more to achieve that natural look that was. A lot of people are scared to do that, but ultimately, that I feel like that's what the clients need and that's what they want. But yeah,
Interesting. And did you find that when you first started wearing, when was it that you first got your first hair system?
I think I was literally I'm in my 10th year now, so yeah,
Okay.
it'll be
So it
10
would
years
have been
ago this year. Yeah,
2014, 2015 sort of
yeah,
time.
15. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's amazing how far hair systems have even come in that period of time in terms of
definitely. Yeah,
realism, comfort. And, the one that I'm wearing right now, this is a bit old, but it's an antibacterial one because
yeah, it looks
that's
fantastic.
yeah, and that's a sort of new addition that actually helps with sort of if you get a bit more itching than your average Joe, you have sensitive scalp, and I'm sure you get people come into your clinic with a really sensitive scalp, and they're like,
Yeah,
"What's the right kind of hair system for me?" And maybe 10 years ago, we didn't have those solutions for people with really sensitive scalps.
no, so true. And it is like you say, it's progressing very well,
Hmm.
and it's also exciting to see just how far it's actually going to progress because, like I said, there is other varieties and options available for like hypoallergenic options, like people
Yeah.
with sensitive scalps, like you say, and I feel like it could be a bit broader, it could be a bit wider. So hopefully, in time, in due course, products and things like that and varieties will definitely improve as well.
Yeah, for sure. So tell me about Hair Repair Club, sort of when you set up, I think it's 2018, is it right that you set up Hair Repair Club and
Literally, yeah, yeah. So it was running like behind closed doors. Was doing a lot of. I was I was literally just going around trying to find these people. I think I started the Instagram in 2016, I think it was, or either 16, 17, but I was doing it before on like friends of friends, and just trialing methods. And I think what it was is I had a friend that came to me saying, like, I found this place in London. I'm going to go and try it out. And I was like, well, that's what I've got. And he was like, no way. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I could help you rather than spending all this money. Let me be the one to help you. So we did it, got it fit, got it cut. And then he went back, went out with all the friends, and then no one even noticed. And I thought, well, no, he was almost like frustrated that no one noticed the difference because he got it at the right time.
Yeah.
He was sort of like mega like, well, hang on a minute, no one's even clocked it here. So I was like, yeah, that's a good thing, mate. That's what you want.
I've invested all this money and no one's even noticing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but like you say, like the good thing back then, everything was done at cost. Like I wasn't charging people; I was just doing everything just to learn the craft, develop the craft, make tweaks, make changes,
Yeah.
pick up new techniques. So for a good 2.5 years, I didn't really make a penny. If anything, I was probably running at a loss. But I knew that's what needed to be done to get obviously the ideal clients, and then when I was able to offer it as a paying service, I knew the background, I understood it inside out, and I knew that I could offer it to a good level. So I sort of made sure I could walk before I could run.
Yep, yep. And then I suppose since then you sort of built it from there. So you've got your clinic in Derby, is that correct? But now
Yeah,
you train people and they've sort of set up their own. Is it almost like a franchise or do they sort of,
it's
how does it work?
yeah. So everyone sort of continues to trade under themselves as they are.
Yeah.
However, we have got locations in Newcastle, London, and Dubai as well.
Uh-huh.
But everyone else is sort of running under their own brand or their own name. And then, like I say, we're with our courses, we obviously offer the training. They come in, and it's not like I say to everyone, it's not a 1 day course. Like if you need help, you let us know. We're here to make sure it goes well for you, sort of thing. So, like I say, we offer shadow days, we offer like refreshers. Just so then it's kind of like a lot of places you'll go, you do a day course, that's it, you don't hear back from them. But with us, it's kind of like we understand it's quite a daunting experience getting involved in this industry. And ultimately, I've been there myself, and I know the anxiety and the complications that are involved in it. And I want to sort of guide people through that. So then I know if they get any issues and things, it's not that the customer's a nightmare. It's they're just getting used to it and they need a bit of assistance or need a bit of guidance. And I sort of really like to force that because back when I had mine, it was kind of like, here you go, you look an absolute idiot. See you later. I don't want to know anything about you. So it's kind of like I didn't want anyone to go through what I went through. And although you know yourself, it's a big transformation on your first ever one.
Massive,
I
yeah.
know within those first weeks, months, as the days go by, it gets better and better, and I know that, and it's kind of like just letting other people know that, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. And I think I think you guys have about 25K followers on Instagram at the moment, which is
Yeah, I think I'll
really
just take that.
impressive. Really impressive. And the content you put out there as well, we didn't have stuff like that. When I first started wearing 6, 7 years ago, there was nothing like that. There might have been a couple of YouTube videos where someone did a sort of a clean and a rebond at home or something. But now, like thanks to, your clinic and, other people on YouTube and stuff, people can actually learn and they feel more confident sort of doing it.
Yeah,
Whereas when you first started wearing them, when I first started wearing, we kind of had to teach ourselves.
yeah, 100%. I fully agree with you. Yeah,
And I kind of find that if you compare hair system cut-ins to just getting a normal haircut, if you've got a full head, it's night and day. It's very different. And it's
very.
very different, learning to do a clean and a rebond is unlike anything you probably would have ever done before when you're new to it. And I think that's why some people feel a bit nervous and they feel a bit overwhelmed when they're coming into this world, either as a stylist or whether they're actually going to be a hair system wearer.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you. Yeah, it's sort of like when myself and yourself sort of went through that, it was like unknown territory, uncharted waters. It was kind of like yeah, like you say, you had a few little snippets here and there to try and go off, but ultimately we found a lot of those routes ourselves as well, which is good because then it does help the up and coming and the future wearers and the industry, in my opinion.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And I remember you made a video about 6 months ago where you were looking at bringing in a set series of standards into the hair
Yeah,
replacement industry, which I think is so much needed because literally anyone can say, "Oh yeah, I can cut in a hair system," without having any sort of training or anything like that. So could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, so again, it's not just us, it's a collective of individuals that are doing it to a good level where we come together as one. We all work together to basically ensure there's like one paramount. It's got to be safety. It's got to be that is ultimately the main thing, safety.
Yeah,
Things like cross contamination with like some of the products that companies sell, like the dabbers for scalp protectors and things. It's encouraging cross contamination and things. So how can
yeah,
we factor that in? And then again, doing things in a set process so you're mitigating the risk of potential problems, not just for yourself but for the clients as well. And I feel like there's a lot of people that are jumping on the bandwagon now, and there's a lot of people getting shafted, or they're coming to us, and we're seeing it more and more on a weekly basis where someone's gone somewhere, they've been sold the dream, and then because of like ill fitting or the wrong product or not listening to the client's sort of background and what they do day to day, it's sort of not working well for them. Where it could do, you
mhm,
could just do with like a little bit more guidance, and that's why, because I'd rather do it as a collective with all these people experiencing different problems. We can all come together. We can iron out the problems. We can obviously share potential fitment ways, like basically just to benefit everyone. And then everyone sort of there's like a set sort of standard where no one's getting screwed over or no one's getting shafted. And
yeah,
you know that if it's got this approval, that you know that these are a group, a collective, an organisation of people that are on top of the safety, on top of the quality, because ultimately quality comes right at the top as well. And you know that you're going to be looked after, regardless of whether that's receiving the service, your maintenance, learning the service. It's kind of like you want it to be absolutely bang on. And as a collective, with all these ideas and all these knowledge and all that being shared, I feel like that could benefit a lot of clients out there, but also people wanting to enter the industry as well.
yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with you. And I'm guessing that you've had people come to you in the past who have, as you said, been completely shafted by, I don't know, a company in London who has said you've got to pay £2,500 for a system. It will last you 2 months, then it will fall apart. Then you've got to pay another 2,500. Have you had any experiences of that before?
Yeah,
Um,
unfortunately, yes.
yeah,
And it's sort of it does make me a bit sad, and I do feel sorry for these people as well. And this is why, like, I even had a phone call earlier. So a potential customer rung up, he just wanted some details. And for me, like I say, we always welcome people with open arms. But if we're not close enough to you or we're not sort of quite suited for you, I'll still encourage to get the service because, like I said, the confidence that it gives you, regardless of who it's from, it's definitely worthwhile in my opinion. So even if you don't go with us, I'd definitely recommend going with someone. But just make sure you do your due diligence for like
yeah.
your background checks. Make sure obviously you're happy with the results, the products, and the knowledge and things like that. So again, I left it with him. I sort of gave him some advice. So even if he's not come with us, make sure you're looking for this, that, and the other. Just so again, he may not be a client of ours, but he knows to go somewhere and he knows what to look for, so he doesn't get ripped off like other people have in the past.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. And I find that people who are suffering from hair loss are in a very vulnerable position.
One
Um,
hundred.
it can be quite an overwhelming spot to be in. And, someone promises you the world, but they say you've got to pay five, six, £7,000 to get the world fitted on your head and feel better about yourself. You'll take it because, I made this mistake in my early days of wearing systems. I went to a clinic in London. I got quoted an insane amount of money, but I was like, well, I don't know of anywhere else that does this, so I assume it's
Yeah,
something great.
yeah,
And it's only once I actually did my due diligence, did some research, I was like, actually, you can do it another way, which will save you a lot of money. So, anyone watching this, I'd really encourage you to do your research first, before making insane payments left, right, and center for this, that, and the
yeah.
tell me a bit about Dubai, because I've seen you a lot in Dubai and you're doing a lot of work over there. So is that mainly sort of training focused, client focused, or a bit of both?
So no, it is client focused. However, we've had a bit of interest on the training side, so we have got some training in a couple of weeks actually for a guy he's going there on holiday, but he's actually from Canada. Maurice the barber. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's very big in the hair system world. He's got a good following. I love his content, so it'd be great to meet him. Really excited to meet him. But primarily, it was just to offer the service. Luckily, we had a few clients here already that obviously came over, received the service, went back, and then obviously, yeah. So we sort of had a small client base already, but that's just growing on a probably a weekly basis. Not absolutely rapid, but it is growing, which is good.
Amazing. And as we sort of come to the end of this chat, are you going to be doing any more sort of things for the gram, like maybe getting a hair system fitted in front of, I don't know, Horse Guards Parade or something like that? I saw something outside Buckingham Palace a few years ago, which made me laugh my absolute socks off. And one in the airport. I don't know what airport it was, but I
Yeah.
haven't laughed that much in a long time.
I've definitely got some in the pipeline. I'll be honest. I'm looking forward to drop those. I'm always thinking of interesting ways, and I like to sort of have a bit of a laugh with it at the same
I think
time.
you
Just
have
take that
to.
seriousness away. Yeah,
No, and I think people love that kind of thing. And when it was coming off the conveyor belt, it was unbelievable how well and how seamlessly it fitted with your natural hair without glue or tape. I was like, did you manage to do that first time?
no, I actually didn't know. It took me about 5 times, and then I think on the last one, like people were starting to stop and be like, "What the hell is going on here?"
What's wrong with this guy?
Yeah, you should see some of the outtakes and people's expressions in the background. It was funny, but like I say, it's you've got to have a laugh with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you got to have a laugh. Make sure you include a couple of the outtakes videos as well for
For
future
sure, for
reels. That'd
sure.
be fantastic. And lastly, Tom, how do you view sort of the future moving forward with Hair Repair Club? I know you're a super ambitious guy, and the company's sort of moving in the right direction. So tell us a little bit about that.
So I'm currently working on a few things, which again, I'm one of those. I like sort of keep a lid on things until I know it's a done deal.
Mm.
But touch wood, I think if things can fall into place nicely, how I anticipate them, it's going to change the entire industry towards the back end of this year, where it will benefit absolutely everyone. It'll get out there more. It'll get more known. It'll become more normalized. That's the main objective as well. Just again, like I said, back in the day, women's hair extensions, it was kind of like an unknown thing, and then eventually, I want to be the same with men's hair replacement. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And just lastly, people watching this and they're interested in either getting a hair system or they want to get trained up in actually being a hair system stylist. How can they find out more about Hair Repair Club?
yeah, so be sure to check out our social media channels. We've got Insta, Facebook, TikTok. We've got our website. There's details. We've got um, online chats. You can either reach out by email, you can ring us, you can go through all options. I'm one of those. Like it's always good to have a chat. And although you can send everything across via message, or I'm more than happy to set phone calls to discuss the ins and outs because they are quite detailed. We do go into depth, and like I said, with us, it's not a one day thing. It's the aftercare is always there. We always like to support people in there, whether that's their hair loss journey or whether that's getting into the industry and helping others out there as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for jumping on this call, Tom. I think everyone's found this super, super helpful and super insightful. And I'm super excited about what you guys have to offer for us in 2025. This sounds like a really exciting year for you.
No, really appreciate you having me on. I'm excited for everyone, including yourself, ourselves, all the system wearers, all the people who are getting involved in the industry. I believe definitely that big things are on the way. I've noticed there's been a nice increase on obviously becoming more publicly known. The results, like you say, the products, the systems, everything's just elevating, it's growing. And I think it's this year and next year that's the one that it really just goes, hopefully.
It's gonna pop off. I hope so, my friend. I really hope so. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that and found that as insightful as I did. Tom was a fantastic guest, in my opinion. I'm going to share in the description box below all of the links to Hair Repair Club alongside their social media links as well. They make some really great content on Instagram and TikTok if you want to see some really good before and afters, some really top skin fades, and some funny content as well. I think you're in for a treat. If you'd like me to do more of these kind of videos where I interview sort of thought leaders within the hair system industry, do let me know in the comments box below. I really enjoy making this kind of content, but what's more important to me is that you guys find it interesting and useful. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for sticking around till the end, and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye for now.